Listen, this is not a coincidence. You didn't click this by accident. Something just shifted, something unseen, but undeniable. You felt it, didn't you? That moment when you chose faith over fear. When you stood your ground while everything tried to break you. When you made that one decision nobody saw, but heaven did. God is speaking to you right now. You've been under pressure, misunderstood, fighting silent battles no one claps for. But that move you just made, it echoed in the spiritual realm. And now everything is about to change. You thought it was small. God says it was powerful. Stay alert, because what's coming next will not look like what you've been through. This is the moment before the miracle. They didn't reject you because you were unworthy. They rejected you because you were not meant to stay. I saw every door that closed in your face. I heard every whisper behind your back. I felt the weight of every moment you questioned your value. But what you called rejection, I called redirection. You were trying to fit into places that could not carry your purpose. You were shrinking yourself to be accepted by people who were never assigned to your destiny. And when they turned away from you, it broke your heart, but it protected your calling. I had to remove you before you settled somewhere beneath what I designed for you. You thought you were losing people, but I was separating you from limitations. You thought you were being pushed out, but I was pulling you forward. Every no you heard was not denial, it was direction. Every closed door was not punishment, it was positioning. Because where I am taking you, they could not go. Where I am elevating you, they could not understand. And if they had accepted you, you might have stayed. You might have gotten comfortable. You might have forgotten who you are. So I allowed the discomfort. I allowed the distance. I allowed the silence. Not to break you, but to awaken you. I needed you to see that your identity was never in their approval. It was always in me. You were chosen long before they rejected you. You were called long before they ignored you. And even when you sat alone, wondering why it hurt so deeply, I was there rewriting your path. Every tear you cried was not wasted. Every moment of confusion was not meaningless. I was shifting you, aligning you, preparing you. Because your assignment is not ordinary. It requires strength that rejection builds. It requires vision that isolation sharpens. It requires faith that only pressure can produce. You could not carry this destiny if everything had been easy. So I let you feel the weight, because I was building your capacity. Now look at you. You didn't quit. You didn't give up. Even when you were tired, you kept moving. And that's why what's coming next will not be small. Because you are no longer the person who was seeking acceptance. You are becoming the one who walks in assignment. The rejection was never your ending. It was your turning point. It was the moment I stepped in and said, "They don't get to define you, I do." So stop looking back at who walked away. Stop replaying what you lost. They were never part of where you're going. Lift your head. You are not abandoned. You are redirected. And everything ahead of you now has my hand on it. Do you really think all of that was random? The pressure, the resistance, the constant weight on your spirit. You thought it was just life being hard. But I'm telling you now, it was never random. The battles you faced were proof of your spiritual significance. Look at how it came at you. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. Just when you started to rise, something tried to pull you back down. Just when you found a little peace, chaos showed up uninvited. You asked, "Why me?" But you were asking the wrong question. It was always because of who you are. You carry something within you that threatens what was never meant to win. There is a light on your life that darkness could not ignore. There is a calling on your name that made you a target before you even understood it. That's why it felt so intense. Ordinary lives don't attract extraordinary battles. What came against you was not equal to you. It was reacting to what's inside of you. I saw every moment you almost gave up. Every night you questioned if you had the strength to keep going. Every silent tear, every hidden wound, every time you said, "I can't do this anymore." And yet you're still here. Do you understand what that means? It means everything that tried to break you failed. You didn't survive because it was easy. You survived because you were built for it. I designed you with a resilience that your battles could not destroy. I placed something in your spirit that refuses to die under pressure. Even when you felt weak, there was a strength in you that you didn't recognize. Even when you felt alone, you were never unprotected. I was there in every fight. When the weight felt unbearable, I carried you. When the confusion clouded your mind, I covered you. When the attack came from places you didn't expect, I shielded you in ways you couldn't see. You thought you were losing, but you were being trained. Every battle sharpened your discernment. Every attack strengthened your endurance. Every setback built a deeper foundation within you. You weren't being destroyed. You were being developed. Because what I have placed on your life requires strength that only battle can produce. You cannot walk into your destiny fragile. You cannot carry your assignment untested. So the battles came, not to end you, but to reveal you. To show you who you really are. And now, look at what you've become. You see differently. You move differently. You don't break the way you used to. There is a strength in your spirit that didn't exist before. That's not an accident. That's the evidence of everything you've been through. So stop questioning your worth because of the battles. Stop thinking the struggle meant you were forgotten. No, the intensity of your fight was confirmation of your significance. You were never overlooked. You were marked. Marked for purpose. Marked for impact. Marked for something greater than what tried to stop you. And now that you've endured, now that you've survived what should have taken you out, you are stepping into a level of strength that cannot be shaken. Because the same battles that tried to break you have now proven. You were chosen all along. You called it loneliness, but I called it protection. You thought you were being left out, forgotten, pushed to the side. You watched others connect, celebrate, move forward together, while you sat in silence, wondering why your world felt so quiet. But listen to me, you were never abandoned. I pulled you away on purpose. There were conversations you didn't hear that would have wounded you. There were environments you didn't enter that would have drained you. There were people you couldn't stay connected to because they could not carry what I placed inside you. So I separated you. Not to punish you, but to preserve you. Because what's on your life is too valuable to be exposed too early. You were in rooms before where you had to shrink to be accepted, where your spirit felt heavy and your purpose felt distant, and you didn't even realize how much it was affecting you. So I removed you from it. Yes, it hurt. Yes, it felt confusing. Yes, there were nights you questioned your worth because of the distance. But while you were alone, I was working. I was healing parts of you that people kept reopening. I was strengthening your mind where doubt once lived. I was teaching you how to hear my voice without distractions. Because where I am taking you, you cannot rely on noise. You must know me for yourself. Isolation was never your identity, it was your training ground. In the quiet, I was preparing you. In the stillness, I was building you. Every moment you felt unseen, I was shaping something within you that attention could not create. You were learning endurance. You were developing discernment. You were gaining clarity about who you are and what you carry. And most importantly, you were becoming strong enough to stand alone if you had to. Because your destiny cannot depend on people staying. It must be rooted in me. I needed you to understand that your strength does not come from who surrounds you, it comes from who walks with you. And I have never left. Now look back. The same isolation that once made you question everything is now the reason you see clearly. You're not easily influenced anymore. You're not desperate for approval anymore. You don't chase what drains you anymore. That's not loss. That's growth. That's preparation. Because soon I will bring the right people into your life. People who align with your purpose, not distract from it. But if I had not isolated you first, you wouldn't recognize them. So don't resent the season of being alone. Honor it. Because it protected you when you didn't even know you needed it, and it prepared you for a life you are just now stepping into. You thought it was there to break you, to end you, to silence you. That weight, that pain, that pressure that didn't seem to let up, you felt like it was too much. There were moments you said, "I can't carry this." Moments you felt like you were falling apart piece by piece. Moments you didn't recognize yourself anymore. But listen carefully. What tried to break you was shaping unshakable strength. I didn't waste your pain. Every time life pressed you down, something deeper in you was being formed. Every tear, every disappointment, every silent battle, it was building a version of you that could not be easily moved. You thought you were losing control, but I was building stability within you. You thought you were falling apart, but I was reconstructing you from the inside out. Because the strength you needed for where you're going could not be created in comfort. It had to be forged in pressure. Look at what you endured. Situations that should have crushed your spirit, yet you're still standing. People who walked away when you needed them most, yet you're still moving forward. Moments that shook your confidence, yet something inside you refused to quit. That something was not luck. It was the strength I was building in you. You don't respond the same way anymore, do you? The things that once shattered you, now they teach you. The storms that once terrified you, now they train you. You are not as fragile as you used to be. There is a steadiness in your spirit now, a quiet power, a resilience that doesn't need to announce itself, because it has already been proven. And that's what they don't see. They don't see the nights you fought battles in silence. They don't see the moments you had to rebuild yourself with nothing but faith. They don't see how close you came to giving up and how you chose to stand anyway. But I saw it all, and I was shaping you through every second of it. Because where I am taking you, you cannot be easily shaken. There will be greater responsibility, greater visibility, greater purpose, and you needed a strength that could withstand all of it. So I allowed the pressure not to destroy you, but to develop you. Now you stand different, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. What tried to break you failed. And what it left behind is a version of you that cannot be moved. You didn't see it coming. Most of it happened in silence. The pressure you couldn't explain. The heaviness that showed up without warning. The moments your energy dropped, your mind felt clouded, and your spirit felt under attack for no clear reason. You thought something was wrong with you. But listen to me. Every unseen attack revealed the weight of your calling. This was never random. There are things you carry that cannot be seen with natural eyes. There is purpose on your life that goes beyond what people recognize. And because of that, the attacks didn't always come in ways you could easily identify. It came through confusion, through sudden discouragement, through battles that made no logical sense. And you wondered, why does it feel like this keeps happening to me? Because what's on you is not ordinary. You are not fighting small battles because you were never assigned a small destiny. The weight you felt wasn't weakness, it was resistance. Resistance to the impact you're meant to have. I allowed you to feel it, not so it could defeat you, but so you could become aware of what you carry. Because if you had no calling, there would be no reason for such persistent pressure. If your life had no purpose, there would be no need for opposition to rise against you in unseen ways. But it did, again and again, and still you're here. You didn't collapse under it. You didn't disappear. Even when you didn't understand it, you endured it. That's not normal strength. That's evidence. Evidence that you were built to carry something significant. Every unseen battle sharpened your awareness. It taught you how to guard your peace, how to protect your energy, how to recognize what tries to enter your life quietly but destructively. You are not as easily shaken anymore. You feel differently now. You discern differently now, because those hidden attacks trained you. They revealed that your life has weight, that your presence carries impact, that your calling is real, whether others see it or not. So stop questioning why it felt so heavy. The weight was never meant to crush you. It was meant to confirm you. You were never under attack without reason. You were being shown that your life matters more than you realize. You almost didn't do it. You hesitated. You questioned. You wondered if it even mattered. That quiet instruction I placed in your spirit, it didn't make sense at the time. It felt small. It felt unseen. But you obeyed anyway. And I need you to understand something. Your obedience unlocked a shift you cannot yet see. In that moment, when you chose to listen instead of ignore, when you moved even though you didn't have full clarity, something in the spiritual realm responded immediately. Doors began to reposition, paths began to realign, things that were stuck started to move. Not because of noise, not because of recognition, but because of obedience. You thought it was just a simple decision, just a small step, just one moment of choosing differently. But heaven doesn't measure the way you do. What looked small to you was significant to me, because obedience is never about size, it's about trust. And in that moment, you trusted me, even with uncertainty, even with fear still whispering, even without knowing what would come next. That kind of obedience carries power. You didn't see anything change immediately, did you? No sudden breakthrough, no instant confirmation. And part of you wondered if it even worked. But shifts don't always announce themselves. Some things begin quietly, beneath the surface, beyond what your eyes can detect. While you were waiting, I was working. I was rearranging what was out of alignment. I was closing what needed to stay closed. I was opening what had been held back until you were ready. Because there are things tied to your obedience that could never be released through hesitation. You crossed a line in the spirit when you obeyed. A line between delay and movement. A line between being stuck and stepping forward. And now, even if you don't feel it yet, you are no longer where you used to be. Something has shifted. The atmosphere around your life is different. The direction of your path is changing. The timing of what's coming is being accelerated. All because you said, yes, when it would have been easier to say nothing. So don't doubt that moment. Don't minimize what you did. That step of obedience was the key that unlocked what has been waiting for you. You may not see it yet, but you will. And when it begins to unfold, when doors open that once resisted you, when things fall into place that once felt impossible, you will look back at that one decision and realize that was the moment everything changed. There were moments you thought you were exposed, uncovered, vulnerable to everything around you. Times when it felt like anything could go wrong, and you had no control to stop it. You saw the risks. You felt the uncertainty. You braced yourself for impact. But listen to me, divine protection covered you when you didn't even know it. There were things assigned to stop you that never reached you. Plans formed against you that never touched your life. Situations that could have gone completely wrong, yet somehow they didn't. You called it luck. You called it coincidence. But it was me. I was guarding you in places you couldn't see, shielding you from outcomes you were never meant to experience. You only saw what happened, but you didn't see what I prevented. You didn't see the doors I kept closed that would have led to regret. You didn't see the people I removed who would have delayed your purpose. You didn't see the timing I disrupted that would have taken you down the wrong path. And there were moments, you remember them, when something felt off, and you couldn't explain why. That was me warning you. That hesitation you felt, that delay that frustrated you, that redirection you didn't understand. It was all protection. Even when you were unaware, I was aware. Even when you were unsure, I was certain. You were never as unprotected as you thought. That's why you're still here, after everything that could have happened, everything that tried to align against you. You're still standing, not by accident, by design. I covered you when you couldn't cover yourself. I stepped in when you didn't even know you needed help. Because your life carries purpose that cannot be left unguarded. And now, as you move forward, understand this. The same protection that kept you then is still surrounding you now. You don't have to fear what you cannot see, because what you cannot see has never been outside of my control. You've been waiting longer than you expected, holding on through delays that didn't make sense, standing in faith when nothing around you seemed to move, watching others step into moments you prayed for, while your own breakthrough felt just out of reach. And I saw every second of it. Every time you chose not to give up. Every moment you fought to believe when doubt was louder than hope. But hear me clearly, your breakthrough is aligned with the destiny I already sealed. It was never random. It was never forgotten. What I have prepared for you is not reacting to time. It is responding to alignment. There were pieces that needed to come together. Strength that needed to be built within you. Clarity that needed to form in your spirit. Because if it came too early, you wouldn't have recognized it. You wouldn't have been ready to carry it. So I held it. Not to deny you, but to prepare you. You thought the delay meant distance. You thought the waiting meant no. But it was never a denial. It was a process. Every step you've taken, even the painful ones, have been aligning you with what already has your name on it. Nothing meant for you has been lost. Not one opportunity that carries your purpose has passed you by. Because what is sealed by me cannot be taken by timing, people, or circumstance. It is secured. And now you're closer than you realize. The version of you standing here today is not the same one who started this journey. You see deeper. You stand stronger. You move with a different kind of awareness. That's alignment. The things you once chased, you no longer need to. The confusion that once clouded you is beginning to clear. You are stepping into position. And when breakthrough comes, it won't feel forced. It will feel right. Doors will open with a clarity you've never experienced. Opportunities will align without the struggle you once knew. And you will realize it. This was never about chasing a moment. It was about becoming the person ready to receive it. So don't lose heart now. You didn't come this far to miss what was always yours. Your breakthrough is not lost in the distance. It is already written into your destiny. And now, it's beginning to find you. Do you feel it yet? That whisper inside, telling you that all this struggle, all this pain, was never wasted. Every moment that crushed your spirit, every setback that made you question yourself, it was shaping you. Not just for survival, but for purpose. I was preparing you. Even when you felt weak, even when you thought the weight was too much, there was a hand on your life you couldn't see. Every door that slammed in your face, every betrayal, every silent battle in the night. These were not signs that you were abandoned. They were signs that I was aligning you, protecting you from what you were not ready for, shielding you from what could have harmed your destiny. And now the pieces are shifting. The invisible chains are breaking. The things that once held you down are turning into the very foundations of your rise. What once seemed like loss is now revealing itself as preparation. What once seemed like pain is now awakening your power. Your destiny is not delayed. It has been quietly activating, silently building, unseen but unstoppable. Every trial, every lonely night, every tear was fueling your breakthrough. Feel it. The weight of what you've endured is the weight of significance. The fire you've walked through is refining you for a purpose the world cannot yet comprehend. You are stepping into a season where your faith will translate into miracles, your endurance will translate into authority, and your obedience will unlock doors you didn't even know existed. Stand now and realize your pain had a purpose. Your struggle was never in vain. Every unseen protection, every moment of preparation, every silent, painful test has brought you to the threshold of your divine moment. You are ready. The season of waiting is over. The season of quiet refining is ending. The moment to rise, to walk into the destiny that has always belonged to you, is now. Everything you thought was suffering was actually positioning you for glory. And if you trust, if you rise with faith, you will see what tried to break you was preparing you to conquer. Lift your head. Look around. Do you feel it? That trembling in your spirit? That quiet fire in your heart? That is me reminding you, you are not done. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. I have been with you every step of the way. Every tear, every battle, every moment you felt alone, I was there. I never left. I never forsook you. Even when life screamed that you were defeated, I whispered truth into your soul. You are chosen. You are destined. You are mine. All the pain, the rejection, the sleepless nights, the endless waiting, it was never in vain. It was the training ground, the preparation for a rise the world cannot contain. I allowed the storms not to crush you, but to awaken something inside you that is unshakable, unstoppable, unbreakable. What tried to stop you only revealed how powerful you are. What sought to silence you only made your voice roar with purpose. Do you see it now? Every setback, every closed door, every disappointment was part of a divine design. You were being positioned, protected, refined. Your faith, your endurance, your obedience, they have been unlocking doors you cannot yet fully comprehend. And now, the moment is coming when everything will align, when every prayer, every effort, every faithful step will bear fruit beyond your imagination. Rise up! Rise like the warrior I created you to be. Stand in the power of your calling. The ground you have been waiting on is shifting beneath your feet, and the chains that bound your potential are breaking. What once seemed impossible will become your reality. Doors that were closed will swing wide open. Blessings that were delayed will arrive in perfect timing. People, opportunities, and favor, everything you were called to walk into, are coming to meet you. Do not fear the future, for it has been written. Do not doubt the process, for it has been guided. Do not question your strength, for I have poured it into you through every trial. You are not a survivor, you are a conqueror. You are not just enduring, you are emerging into the fullness of your destiny. Take your place. Step forward with courage, speak with authority, move with confidence. The enemy may have tried, but victory was always your inheritance. I am with you. I have never left you. And now, chosen one, it is time. Time to rise. Time to shine. Time to claim what has been waiting for you since the beginning. Your breakthrough is here. Your destiny is unfolding. Your purpose is unstoppable. Stand tall. Stand firm. Stand victorious. The world will see what I have done in you, and nothing can take this from you. You are chosen, you are loved. You are unstoppable. It is your time. Rise.